sides, mainly because, well, a lot of their CT side plays don't necessarily make sense. Jo, though, that's a fantastic start. 2 kills, killing off the Ivy push, and now Box is the man in position to try and do the damage. He's got the rotation from Lollipop, who looks to try and support. The kills come back in thick and fast, leaving things into a 2v2 situation. Make that a 1v2.
So North run the risk of walking into it. They push back to Pop Dog, and even though MDS has been tagged, they could have also rotated quickly towards... On a map like Train, you're going to have to get out in the open at some stage. And he does jump down and proves us both incorrect. And there's a second. What? Mate, Gade, if you'd got a kill at that range with the sawn off, I would have just rage quit for Nemiga. That would have been ridiculous. Fortunately, he doesn't, but North have been said, so he didn't crate it to his death and then put him out of his misery. That's incredible style points. No scout will be saved. And now Jo with the MP.
I think the interesting thing there is that Lecro buys it, Gade gets damaged, he's like, give me the rest. I'll show you how it's done. He actually dives to
success, and now the drop comes in. Oh, they bit down hard on this. 4 players from the Nemiga go in. They think it's a full B hit, and now they realize that's not the case, and Lollipop has been suppressed without really anything in return. It's a great tactic from North, but it may not work out. Somehow Cajun doesn't shut down Jo, loses his life, but there's Kristou to pick up the pieces. 2 kills go the way of the young Danish AWPer. But speedak has his say too. He's put his AWP to use. MDS spotting the head over of kreaz on top of the trains. Bomb ticking away in amongst all of this action. speedak spotting kreaz, and MDS will shut down Lecro and stop that win streak. But Tom, that is a round when you get 4 players to rotate to B and you move in. That miss from Cajun was so brutal, and that could very well have just cost them the round.
Tweet they've just put out says, win or lose, we will still learn. It's like if my organization tweeted that out, I would almost think that they're expecting me to lose. Like, don't worry guys, it doesn't matter. Can dominate. And I think they're going to need that today.
Well, they'll need every little helping that they can get. Cajun, though, making amends, almost in an identical position to the last round where he did whiff. And speedak will be joined by Box. Box still hasn't put a point of damage down. There we go. Damage and a kill. Looking for more. Doesn't quite connect it, and Kristou goes down as a result. MDS with his M4 does show his hand in connector. They know that both of North the roads were on the A side of the map, but they were trying to relocate and push through together. Well-placed Molotov keeps them at bay. Now the 2 Belarus players will be looking to tag team their way through back into the open. kreaz is now thinking twice. He's not sure where the oncoming CTs are coming in, and that's going to be showing it in itself with 2 kills back to back, 1 apiece on each side. Bomb's not planted ideally either, and if Kristou's not careful, it may get fully diffused under him, but no, Box comes off the defuse. Kristou now goes checking, finds him, frags him, and Nemiga...
Time for North, so I actually think that they need to do better on this T side. Luckily, again, it's
given themselves enough foundation to realistically threaten North. 30 seconds, now the T's look to spill out onto the site. The molly damage with flashbangs is significant. It's severe, and Box had an opportunity to maybe spray down 2. But he gets taken out the second he pulls the trigger. And Jo on the other side of the map, just looking to save again. It's familiar territory. And it feels like to me, Tom, that North, they've learned some lessons from yesterday. They've realized that they have got to step up their game significantly or they face elimination. And it is...
The few events that they did manage to win, a couple of DreamHack Opens were in there, where with, I think, even going back like a year, like, was it...
They've got to start cashing out some of these advantages, and it has to start right here and right now. And they've already lost the first player, and kreaz goes in for another. Box and Lollipop continue to have a rough start, as do Nemiga. And although damage has been inflicted towards kreaz, who's posted up now on the E-box, they still have to force their way back. They've been smoked and Molotoved into submission.
Well, they've still got the double AWP available, and in most situations that probably wouldn't be too good, but with the bomb not down yet and the smoke's looking like they're beginning to fade, could actually be enough to sort of pick their opponents apart. Jo with a secondary AWP is definitely decent. MDS, he's almost died twice now to just a Molotov. Getting caught in the corner, speedak not being able to get his smoke into play. Now they're all coming from the same position. The utility thrown down by North is going to section them out, at least for the moment. But in goes speedak.
And down goes speedak. It's Lekro from above that will strike. And just like that, the eyes are closed again for an 8th time. MDS, 37 HP, will at least get one. It does feel like a consolation. And Lekro will finalize.
Damage on his way out. North are doing a fantastic job. Look how much damage just Molotov and a little bit of spam have done. And again, it's the same thing. It's like watching a match make anything.
Yeah, there is a fluidity, isn't it, to North, because they're being afforded the chance to be fluid. They're afforded the chance to take all of these aggressive options because there's no resilience, there's no resistance at all. Wherever they decide to push, they're getting success. So there's no reason to change it. What a turnaround by North. Many people coming into this.
Push 3 men. Fight them together. Go in, well, hopefully with the utility, but it turns out they're just going to try and take it right. But at least they're doing something. As a team over Gade ruins them anyway. It doesn't seem to matter what they do at this point. Even when I don't mind the decision they've made, it seems like Gade has had enough. Leading by example, he's had a fantastic map so far. Jo will at least trade one back. And actually, speedak's found another kill. This is looking hopeful. Well, the timing doesn't quite work out for him. They have a chance here, Vince.
It is a chance. If they want to try and battle back, they have got to convert this opportunity because they won't come by it too often. kreaz, still 100 HP as Gade spots speedak, slowly heading his way up the ladder and then goes in for the ace.
Fairly poor, so needing a save-in, needing someone to step up, and with this B execution beginning, the flash from Gade's not fantastic, but it does give him the chance to pad his stats a little bit. They're running out of time, 20 seconds up and coming on the clock, and MDS is in a pretty decent position. Finds himself his 3rd kill of the round, finally having a standout round for him. However, the bomb is actually being fake. Kristou baits him in, and that gives an afterplant situation now in a 2v2.
Find that Box is about to make moves. He's 4 and 13 right now. AK trained up, and it's going to be Cajun that comes out ahead. Jo with a FAMAS at this range. They are both low, so maybe bypassed somewhat. His position is very much known, just below 50% of the fuse remaining. No kits, no grenades, no live Kristou, no scope.
Either way, push into the site. It's some MP9, FAMAS, and an M4. Box has run through a smoke and been killed by Lekro. Jo has managed to get the trade. For some reason, I just have a feeling they're going to win this round out of all the ones that they've had. Spray through, MDS getting aggressive on his own, but he's actually going to get himself a double. Again, they take the advantage, but they've lost many more. Retreating through the Molotov's going to do a hell of a lot of damage, and kreaz is waiting. Going to see the trade, though, from Jo already. And, well, it did happen, Vince. They managed to get themselves a...
And the sort of theory, I suppose, of how they want to play. The surprise to me was just how badly it all came together. kreaz doing a decent chunk of damage with a frag, and then does get picked off from Lollipop, who probably 8 HP, but one of those P250s. Kristou, one of the few players that does actually use the P2000, and he takes the head off of Lollipop. It was the same player that aggressed onto his teammates, so it stands to reason they desperately had to get a hold of. It may not be over just yet, though, because Cajun's been tagged down to 36. Still no holds on, and drills Box in the head. Gade misses out on adding to those 20 kills after a phenomenal first half, but it doesn't really matter forward. So, very similar kind of scoreline taking shape as well. Cajun waiting for that smoke to clear. Gade elsewhere, though, goes in on Lollipop. There's the flashbang, there's the peek. Not quite a double kill, but information attained, damage inflicted. And Nemiga, on their last couple of legs, will be trying to push through as a united force with Kristou and kreaz with the MP9. The curtain is coming down. It's going to be all over. And at least North have the decency to finish Nemiga off quick. They don't want to play with their food. We'll be heading to Inferno, barring an MDS miracle. First kill goes in, but there's kreaz. 60 though, Tom, and that does concern me a little bit for Nemiga. If they start slowly again, North can really build up a head of steam. 1-for-1 trades. Kristou having a bit of an awkward engagement. Alongside the bridge player of MDS, who runs out of ammunition, finally gets the kill. Elsewhere, Jo went on to gade. The bomb has been dropped down around T steps, and cajun's on top of it. That smoke's not ideal. There's a slight gap in the smoke, and cajun can look to exploit that one. They try and jump onto the bomb, but Lollipop misses it. It's a complete fiesta again. Nemiga are their own worst enemies. They've perforated the smoke, penetrated in for the kill onto Kristou, and now they have a free B site. It will be a post plant. What the hell am I watching, Tom?
Well, they're going all the way around. Round the world they go. This is jumping and using guns you wouldn't expect, but Nemiga instead have just gone back towards the B site. They've got their after plant position, and
I think kreaz has just taken way too long on this push. At this point, I don't even know why he's pushing in. Like, there's no way he wins the round, and that kit could have been useful going into the next round, but it doesn't really matter a great deal. Nemiga
through a lot of investment into utility, and rightly so. You need to try and deny the team as much as possible. It's something a lot of teams struggle to do.
Cajun is just hiding at the backside, waiting for the flashes to dissipate so he can now show his hand. It's only one kill, but he's drawn away fire, allows Gade now to come in with three quick fire. M4 snappy shot.
You sort of mentioned that in the last round, they almost look hesitant to go anywhere else. Well, that's because a lot of the time they don't, unless Lollipop gets a multi-frag. That is their whole game plan. It is, we will take banana. If Lollipop kills some people on A, then we go A. If not, then we go B.
First two picks. Looking good on North. Kristou can't quite flick across. It would have been a beautiful shot if he connected it. We already got one just before. It's the two new recruits, kreaz and Kristou, have dipped into their back pocket and pulled out some success. Lollipop, though, another entry. A player that you always have to respect is having that ability to turn rounds on their head. He may go down, but he bought up enough time for MDS to rip through Lecro, and the post plant does come into effect. This is still a round that could go the way of Nemiga, and with North's economy and a few of these players a little bit rough, this could turn into something truly disastrous for the Danes and Swedes. MDS gets flashed in, doesn't affect him, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. And now Box, who's perched up in apps, is the last man standing. They smoked off pit. That won't be the correct decision overall. And now they're going to find out, but Box needed to get that kill quickly. He's on very low HP and gets finished off. And I do wonder if maybe he rushed the shot there, Tom. When you have very low HP and the timer of the bomb's not too far away from detonation.
MDS doesn't get a single kill off of it.
Yeah, he's got to do better in that position, honestly. He did a lot of damage, and now Kristou's been finished off, but it should have been a kill. It should have potentially even been two. Now, he has forced just hyper-aggressive plays, the library position, but it looked like a wraparound maybe taking shape, and with him losing his life, kreaz can now turn his attention back onto B. So this is a very poor round from MDS. Two separate mistakes that could cost them so much. kreaz gets aggressive, goes straight in with the AK, taking down speedak, and now Gade can look to try and pivot in and pincer and lock down the site one more time. Playing the box perfectly. It's both kills to Gade. Of course it is. The way he's playing, you expect him to clutch every...
A lot of teams will shy away from that because you almost feel like you're giving them what they want. But the fact is, almost like disrespecting them to this level is actually working out wonderfully. kreaz, he manages to get in there, trade the kill. They've done so much damage on top of that as well. And then he's even able to get out of there and looks to set up a boost for Kristou. This could be perfect. The Molotov might cause them a few issues, but I imagine that's going to go deep. So we'll probably trap them. MDS, though, great entry. Nade drops down and does even more damage. But the fact is, MDS might have just turned this round on its head.
Yeah, it was a great shot onto Kristou, and obviously at that point, he knows there's a second player there. He was caught with a nade out. Cajun snuck his way just behind the smoke. Can't really deny the bomb plants. Oh, and Lollipop puts a bullet between his eyes and the smoke. Cro's already committed to potentially clutching this. He's put himself in an awkward spot and gets shut down from the back. Or maybe I spoke too soon. Lollipop's missed out his chance. Crow down to only 40 HP is making this costly. And these are minor victories. Keep in mind that Nemiga's economy is not in great shape. So every kill that Lecro is getting is putting more and more pressure on them. Sure, they...
Again, though, Vince. Gonna see the early net. Stop! Stop! Pushing banana so early. They've almost just lost 3 players. Oh my god. That was only 2 nades as well. That's at what? Almost 300 damage?
That is such a sick call. We'll get back onto that in a second because the Nemiga aren't done just yet. They've not been buried.
God.
MDS comes straight out. He doesn't care about the grenades. He's got an AK and he's delivering headshots for days. How disappointing must that be for North? You've made the perfect read. You've got the perfect start and then just 2 brisk headshots take it away from you. MDS is going to rip around the corner. He's going to take 2 heads off and we lose the round. Like, that's not really something you're anticipating. So I love it from North. Oh, Kristou, how is that not a kill? That looked like it was on his chest area. Off prematurely, and now he's been flashed out of position. Gade decides to drop down and actually goes for the pre-fire. Not sure about that one. They know that kreaz is on CT. They're unlikely to be checking that boost angle. I don't know if he just got a misread on the timing or what happened there. But he pushed too early on, and that's put a lot more pressure.
Well, the go be every round strat continues to be successful for Nemiga.
He's been aggressive a few times already on Banana. Goes back in again. They're looking for the boost, but he's ready. He's willing. And he smacks them down. Allow the cavalry, allow the support structure to come into play. Lecro now posting up in mini pit. Cajun still on the site. Kristou with the AWP at range, nullifies speedak, but he's given his way in library before MDS gets caught out in the open. He was trying to aim at Lecro, and North take the round and only lose the 1 player.
The time. Clear things through, get themselves a path on towards a mini pit, but actually, they lose that first duel. Box is gone. Molotov thrown out will try and force kreaz out, and it does. He's already lost. Gage trying to go re-aggressive, but he's caught by MDS once again. An impactful frag from him, and it's on to cajunb. He's found himself a double. speedak gets the trade, but we end in a 2v2 situation. Bomb yet to go down, and actually counter utility being expended. That flashbang from Lecro was spot on. It hands Kristou a free kill, and it's on to Lollipop. The star of the show in most cases, but he's been a bit quiet so far today. He tries to bait them in with the bomb, but it's not been planted. They'll now know that this next plant should be the real thing. However, again, it's a fake. He's got a few seconds left to plant. He's going to fake it one more time! And Lollipop in the clutch situation.
He's stuck in boiler anyway with the deagle, so he just needs to survive as long as possible. Lollipop now around the corner. Oh, you can tell that he is feeling it. He's getting closer to that monitor, but he's getting shut down. They weren't...
You have forgotten, Vince. You've forgotten the sacred sword of Nemiga, which is the B site. They will go back. Throw that grenade down. He knows this is coming. And right in the last seconds of the round, there goes the incendiary. Bomb dropped on the deck. They were waiting for this push. They were predicting that they would go back in this direction. And Nemiga have lost the round because of it. kreaz looking to try and...
Lollipop clutch. The last 5 rounds would have gone the way of North. So it goes to show like how rough this was towards the start of it. MDS though with the USP is doing so much damage, dropping the bomb out, and Lollipop picks up the slack. Looking good for Nemiga in the pistol, but if they overextend, they overpeak.
He could also have this wrong, as you said. Gage being patient might be enough for them to actually steal this round away. Kristou already is going to pick off another.
Knows the smoke's gone down. He knows what's coming up. Does he want to go for the peak? Will he get the chance? Yes, he will. Gade's gone down. And now his position's compromised, but it's down to the young Dane. It's down to the new recruit. It's down to Kristou. He runs out of ammunition on both sides. One of the most awkward encounters you'll see. And now he goes back in. But Jo will pull the speedak. He will be flashing in. They want to get the SMGs ripping through the oncoming terrorists. They've done a good job so far to... Stays alive, pivots out of position, and now Cajun's looking for entries, can't find it, can't get it done. Lollipop helps out MDS, he gets Molotov out of position, and now the T's will start to try and get up close and personal. But maybe this is where the firepower of Nemiga will shine brighter. When closing the gap, be very wary of a Lollipop, because he is spraying them down alongside Box. And North hot off the back is getting their first rifle round on the T-half, are looking like they're going to get shut down. Nemiga keeps 3.
Perfectly. It's been with City. He's not had a good game. And although they haven't necessarily needed him thus far, on the CT side, I expect he should play a pivotal part, but it's not getting any better, even in a round versus deagles. And now Lecro steps up. Lollipop looking like he might have to put them on his back again.
2 players are weakened, which will allow Lollipop more opportunities to shine. But North still have opportunities. They still have options to pull back and go towards the B side of the map. Now, we know that lollipops on arches, understandable if you just give in. There's no shame in it. The guy is an absolute monster. But another one, Deke. Lollipop, at some point, may think about going over to B and helping his teammate out, especially if a call comes through. With 30 seconds, though, North need to make a decision, and Lollipop gets winged. Out into the open, he will be going for the plant. It's a safe one. Also planted for pit, though. Flashbang out will do nothing to denying this plant coming out. The player in pit. Cajun now has to make some noise. He's hoping that kreaz can make the most of this chaos and put some frags out. There's one. Now Jo stuck between two places. Time is running scarce. He's got a kit, but doesn't have the head anymore. kreaz puts
A burden than anything else. Not going to be staying around to fight the angle, and in fact, they've double up arch side to try and almost give some support. That support is also the man who normally does most of the damage. A nice flashbang gives him a chance to get away. He only survives on low HP. However, there's an assist from speedak this time. MBS looking to try and help him, and grenades being expended to try and clear kreaz from this back corner. speedak now really coming up trumps, having a big round for his side, but there's a response. Kristou and kreaz, in turn, both finding a kill, and now speedak's actually somewhat stuck towards the back of this site.
It's a great flashbang as well. Fully dispatches him. Can't do anything, but it's a wide sweep. And a slow one at that. He gets punished. kreaz with the AK, just trying to do some damage on his way out. He's about to get peeked from graveyard. And Box makes sure that all those bullets are...
The injury. This is the map they like to play. North, though, they're putting up a good fight. This map so far to give favor to this Nemiga side, and he's about to spot multiple players. Both go down, looking for his third, or even just to try and back away. He does a lot of damage, but more importantly, puts them in the driver's seat. Kristou, though, he's well placed. He's found a kill, but he does not expect. Jo misses a sitter. I don't know how he doesn't get that, and he's punished for it. An easy kill for the Estonian. And it's left onto speedak. He has no choice but to say, Vince, there were so many opportunities here for Nemiga, and they don't capitalize on any of them.
Maybe scrape together a buy of some sort. It's not going to be ideal, but that miss is so devastating, and they won't be able to get up.
Massively impact clutch situations. 2 kills for him to open up the B site, and well, they're now going to aggress. Actually, they've managed to find a couple back. speedak still hanging around, trying to deny presence onto the bomb. He has to know that kreaz is here. kreaz got a kill, so if he doesn't know, it's a massive mistake, and he does. Peeks out, takes him down, and continues to hold this site. As said, he's had some quieter rounds in this game thus far, but since moving on to the CT side, we've seen a step up. Smoke going to be expended. cajunb will be the playmaker again. Bypasses both players, but ends up in a cross.
Phenomenal train. Hasn't quite been at the same mark here on Inferno, but this would be a good way of bringing it back, and instantly MDS shuts him down.
Take Box is actually going to push off of this and regain control of Banana. Lekro goes for the peek in and just about wins the duel. 18 HP, and wow. It's a...
But Gade seems to know it's a distinct possibility. Does he hold on to his gun? Oh, the timing is so rough, and speedak has dealt with Kristou. And the reactions...
Breathing life into Nemiga, and as you said, this round especially, everything went right for them. All the time. Gun up Banana.
They will live by this or die by it.
Oh!
And Box, well, he's putting them to bed pretty convincingly. It's 3 kills to Box. And even though some counter flashes are coming in and Jo has fallen, there's a fast rotation from Nemiga going down middle right now. All Box has to do is survive a bit longer. He has fallen, so they can trade up some weapons. They're
one from crossing, but Gade has already made the move. Now the full force of Nemiga is going to be waiting around this angle. Gade had some pretty big hero plays in the early stages and also on the previous map, and Kristou has been their star when it comes to Inferno. He lasts not a second as Gade is left to do everything. The in-game leader in charge of saving them on Inferno. Nuke comes up next, and he's going to try and wrap around, but they're just sticking the plant. He thinks it's a fake, and he's been baited in, and unfortunately head in hand.
And personal with these Glocks. 2 Molotovs in place, but already the CTs are moving down, looking to try and cordon off these areas. Lollipop gets himself 2 USB frags, and good mollies are distributed, but the damage has already been done. It's a clean sweep. Nemiga don't even...
Doesn't necessarily mean they'll be as crazy, but then again, I say that. Kristou, he's gone straight towards the door, finds Box almost instantly with grenades because he always plays on the edge of mini. And because they watched one demo, they just nade stacked him multiple times. He did not move.
Salvages the situation, doesn't get wide peak. Flash, though, will keep them at bay. That's the AWP downstairs, by the way. So if he just got overwhelmed, that could have been a very awkward situation taking shape. But with gade also chipping in, and with them converting the outside control into an A-side plant with 5 and 1, even though Lollipop is having a good start to this map, seems like he could be on the chopping block, or perhaps not. He becomes the executioner. kreaz goes out, doesn't want to try and upgrade the weapon because it would put him in a very awkward spot. North will take the round, though, Tom. And as I said, there's some positives that definitely brim to the surface there. I want to see if they can maybe have a couple of different takes, though, to that formula.
Give the time. I'm excited for the future of this team. When you think about how many stars have been bought and passed through this North roster, it's nice to see them. It seems from the interview with Lecro that even after their devastating loss yesterday, he was fairly happy with how he performed. Gade, though, he found so much space. He managed it.
Stubborn, a bit headstrong, a bit predictable. Well, North, twice in a row, full outside control, have managed to wrap around, negating most of the defense, and Jo will get the drop. He losed on 5 and 0 briefly before.
Lecro looking to lead by example now, being the first man into the site as he looks for the opener. It's Gade who takes the first, but they're working in tandem. Box at least finds one back in response, but the remaining 2 players down the bottom of the vent. Here will escape out. He actually gets the first kill. His teammate needs to try and join him, or maybe not. Looking to try and do it all on his own. The Estonian among a sea of Belarusians, but the fact is, now Lollipop's left alone. He's the man you'd want in this situation, but Gade on the other side had his moment. The wraparound coming in, and oh, I thought for a second he might just land the shot. However, Lollipop eventually gets the job done. A very strong 2v3, Jo stepping up when needed, and Nemiga, they do break straight back. Right execution. They've gone for a straight up vent dive. I have not seen that happen too many times, as they've done it with the whole squad. It's not just one player as the norm. However, they are losing the duels more importantly. 2 kills go in the favor of this Nemiga side. Gade needs to go huge. Jo, he was waiting, but the timing couldn't be worse. And now they're going to know that there's a player flanking in. Speedak needs to get a move on. His teammate alongside him, but cajunb picks him off. And now it's left to Box. He actually retrieves the AWP, and MDS has actually made a move forward. Could he have a chance just to defuse this?
No, not anymore. The bomb wasn't fully planted for the 2 Ts, but out come Nemiga into the open, into the line. Well, he'll be up to the aggressing. He nearly actually takes down a player through the smoke, but goes down to Kristou
as well. Like, it's one that's actually relatively difficult to clear. He's going to be sat back in the corner. Lecro didn't stand a chance, and the crossfire of this site has done damage so far. Jo, though, maybe slightly misreading the situation, goes to try and clear the close angle. A good spot from Speedak, but he's a little bit too slow. He won't be able to deny the plant this time, and the scope will be heard. The nade could kill off Gade, though. And actually, his AWP connects, but they don't spot cajunb at the back of the site. And now an AWP versus 2 in a crossfire setup. His wrist can't flick that far, otherwise it might.
K-Fire may be coming his way. This could all come down to the timing. He has spotted kreaz, goes for the no-scope, won't be doing anything. And now Low has been finished off. And in come North. Again, this ruthlessness outside has not been plugged up by Nemiga. And this has been the entire half, Tom. This isn't a shock or a surprise. This has been here from round 1.
Oh, dear. Well, Box thought he was escaping into the safe haven of B, but the fact is that's where the T's actually decide. Time he has people, even now after just 2 days, trying to set him up with flashbangs or putting utility in to help him. Note how to
be a nuisance, continue to be a pain in the ass on the aggressors. Always have that threat. Now it's an off angle from Box, but Kristou with the AWP.
Reclaim this out of control. They're going to have to catch someone off guard. Now, Lecro is watching the angle. Chance of him getting a multi-frag here seems fairly slim. The chance of expecting more players, even slimmer. Speedak at least trades, but there is support. Lollipop with another, but does he know that Kristou is waiting? Well, that answer comes swiftly. 9-4. North again in a dominant position and made setups, but That's what that map is almost designed about. It's like they've been forced into it. And again, a fast play out from North. I like the change of pace. This time, Jao is actually on a very quick flank. He pushed all the way through ramp, and he's managed to get in behind them. They've got a hero to save them here. In fact, they have multiple. Somehow, these force fire rounds have been 10 times better than any of their purchases.
By the way, that often shies away from taking risks. So I'm so confused and baffled at how static their defense is. And of course, as I say that, Lollipop does take a risk. He goes aggressive, and he loses his head as a result, and they lose ramp.
Yeah, this seems like a last-ditch efforts, right, Vince? It's like, nothing works, let's try something crazy. And, well, North have been very good at actually quelling this aggression and throwing in quite a bit of their own. Still, a 3v4, Kristou low, and an opportunity here. Nade will blast out the door, and Gade is actually going to close out another MDS. Doesn't expect him to wrap around. This is space that they've been able to garner for the majority of the game. Jao, again, will find the trade outside, but that's the low player. That's not really that valuable a kill, especially with after-plant positions. It's going to have to be some pretty big opening frags to get them back into this site.
This is going to have to be surgical precision on the re-engage, and it'll be through smoke. To make matters worse, Jao's gone down. There's mollies, there's flashes, there's a kitchen sink just been tossed in towards speedak, and there's nothing that he can do about it. No kit, no grenades, no chance. Tagged, living on borrowed time. It will be 10-5 going through to the second half. We'll see from North these Molotovs on the top of the hut, forcing away the CTs from ramp. There's a 3-player stack. This read is excellent from North, but they've lost Lecro, and in amongst that, Nemiga just pulled the plug. They go straight back over towards the A side of the map.
Nice trade from cajunb, and he's going to be well placed to do some damage here. kreaz from above as well has picked off another. And they have a flash ready to try and pop players back in, but it seems like they're going to wait. But there's the first flash. Second one coming through as well. kreaz actually left blind by it. It's not quite gone to plan, but luckily cajunb gets the trade. Gade, he'll pick up one and manages to snap back as well. It will be the pistol going the way of North, but with a bomb plant and a few kills.
But it's not like North's economy across the entire team is garbage. Like, two of them actually have okay economy. MDS, though, proving why he went for the AK. They're still firm favorites to pick this up.
Yeah, for this to be considered worthwhile, I think he needs to get a few kills. But there you go. He's just walked straight out the hut. I don't know how he gets there for free, but... Hey, MDS doing MDS things. We mentioned on Inferno, he was the pinnacle player. He was the one who brought them back from the depths in a couple of rounds, and... Well, Box is dead. Another Box trying to give him a helping hand. But again, MDS proves us wrong and manages to get a couple of kills and win them the round.
I mean, it's just a simple...
Fast playing, cajunb ready and waiting. He doubles up as they just peek him one by one. It's all too easy for the veteran Dane. And they look a bit disjointed, but the push back in, I thought that was going to be a kill for Box. It should have been. At least speedak can...
They themselves get smacked in the face, dizzy. But speedak seems like he's holding me, is that if the timing works in Kristou's favor, he will just have him dead to rights. He goes back into the peak, he spots him. I was wondering if he goes straight away back into watching the other.
Gonna try and take some control.
Control secret way for the time being, but Lollipop has been pushed out of the round. MP9 finalizes him. Jao in deep concentration. Focus, trying to bring them back into this round, back into this map, keep them alive a little bit longer. It's a solid headshot onto Kristou. But look how disjointed the rest of the teams are. They can't really follow him up, and he misses out on that spray. Cajun takes minimal damage in the process, and now in a 2v4, they've got to spring into action, and the hero of a couple rounds ago, MDS, is the first to fall in this encounter, and Box doesn't fare.
There will not be a fallback coming up unless they lose a round here. That's not the start they were looking for, though.
Watching this map, could this be another big moment? He can deny the plant, goes in for the spray. No, it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit too late, so the bomb does get planted down, and now North are forced into an awkward position. Gade can't believe that he's just been tech-9'd. And now Nemiga, it's their turn again to somehow pull this out the fire. Did North even go for this? They may at least flirt with the idea, and now that Kristou is...
That almost seemed like a scene from the Chuckle Brothers. Like with all of them trying to get down the vent at exactly the same time. They get stuck on each other for a good 5 seconds in the smoke, and really, at this point, Vince, they need everyone. They are 7 rounds behind. North need just 2 to close this one out, and Kristou looks to lead the charge. He's being spammed through and needs some support. Molotov going to force him out. He's dead for sure. Good utility usage.
Don't check their angles. Could be punished, but they're running out of utility. They only have 1 smoke to go, and Gade has shown his hand. And it proves to be too much for speedak. Lollipop, though, holding the line of lobby, trades out onto kreaz. He has been impaired down to 29 HP himself, though, and cajunb now getting up close. He's making moves into hut. He's waiting for that peek, but MDS with another opening pick. That should be A side falling.
That should have been cajumb's kill. Again, like MDS, it seems like he just manages to do things prepared for anything. Gade retrieves the kit, retrieves an AK. Actually kills off Lollipop. The problem is the time is too low. He has to save. His teammate's already gone. And the money for this north side is in the bin.
It's in the bin, but to be fair, Nemiga's economy is not in...
And in fact, kreaz seemingly want to come back up the vent, but it's too little too late. You mentioned cajunb was low. kreaz actually does manage to get away with a kill. Acts as a form of distraction, and cajunb just trying to lurk on the edge of the flames. Even a single kill here could be enough to make a big difference, but with missed shots, he has to try and pull back to the site. Timer ticking, a missed shot from Kristou as well. cajunb does manage to get 1. It keeps things close. But now that Gade has fallen, things become tougher in this retake.
Well, yeah, combine the two of them, barely have any HP, but it's Lekro with the M4 that comes in first. They're both moving through together. speedak gets tagged. He's against 48, slightly in favor of speedak. Positionally, definitely favoring him. He's hiding, but Lekro still puts the bullet between the eyes. And North will hit 15 first.
Now, the outside control from Nemiga means that this might not be too big a problem. Lollipop left lurking. A shot from Gade, and that's got to be frustrating. The insta-kill comes through, but Lekro has managed to find the trade. That's the man down in lobby. However, this has nothing to do with the take. There will, however, be cajunb here, but he might get caught in transition. Trying to use an MP9 at this range is not going to be ideal. And he's had to call again for Kristou's support. But Jo pushing first actually hands him a free kill. The first one's easy. In fact, cajunb gets all 3. It's the beginning of the end, and Kristou confirms it. North will take them.